What is going on, everyone? Welcome into Big Time Football Talk. Today we're going to get into the AFC South preview. The AFC South features the Tennessee Titans, Indianapolis Colts, Houston Texans, and the Jacksonville Jaguars. If you're not familiar with which teams are in that division. First team I want to start with is the Tennessee Titans. The Tennessee Titans are the team that ended up winning the division last year. They returned Derrick Henry, who comes off a monster season last year, was the NFL league's leading rusher. The big question mark for the Tennessee Titans is, can Derrick Henry still be that identity and duplicate those stats? Also, the Ryan Tannehill magic occurred last year. Can Ryan Tannehill be as good as he was last year? He came in, was just fantastic for the Tennessee Titans, was really that X factor, just gave them that extra juice the Tennessee Titans needed. I was a Mariota fan. I really thought Mariota was the answer for him, but it turns out Ryan Tannehill came in and really got them rolling. A.J. Brown was a second-round pick that had a fantastic rookie year for the Titans last year. He's going to look to have another great year for him in the receiving game. Corey Davis was a guy that I had high hopes for, but Titans declined his fifth-year option. A.J. Brown, just some of the statistics, he averaged 9 yards after the catch last year, which is fantastic for him. So the Titans, it'll be interesting to see if Ryan Tannehill can do this again. This was like Tannehill for the Dolphins was very solid. I know a lot of Dolphins fans were a fan of Tannehill. I always was a fan of him in Miami, but I think this was a good, really redemption year for him in Tennessee, and I don't think a lot of the Dolphins fans wish the best for him. I think there was still a good chunk of people that didn't really write him off completely, and good for him. He really salvaged his career this year. So good for Ryan Tannehill. The Titans will be a team that's likely the favorite to win this division. I haven't really paid close attention to the Vegas odds, but they'll likely be the division winners. So the offense featured by Derrick Henry, you got weapons in the receiving game. I really love their young talent on defense. Rashaan Evans is a guy that makes a lot of plays, a lot of tackles at the middle linebacker position. He's very fun to watch. Harold Landry, a guy that was a former second-round pick from Boston College, has really done a great job with getting pressure on the quarterback. They have some speed in the secondary, Nadori Jackson. Good thing, bright spots for the Texans or the Titans heading into next year. Next team is the Indianapolis Colts. So the Indianapolis Colts signed Phillip Rivers, veteran quarterback, longtime Los Angeles, San Diego Charger. So what's key here is the Colts. The Colts will have a bunch of pieces in place for Phillip Rivers to succeed, even though he's really aged and didn't look nearly the same player he was in the past. Their offensive line was problematic for the Chargers, but there's weapons around him to help Phillip Rivers succeed. Michael Pittman Jr., T.Y. Hilton will be back. Hopefully he will stay healthy for the whole season. They drafted Jonathan Taylor, rookie running back from Wisconsin. Very talented guy. Monster numbers at Wisconsin. A 2,000-yard season last year. And then, great O-line featured by Quentin Nelson, one of the best guards in the National Football League. Love watching Quentin Nelson. I watch Quentin Nelson. I love because he has given offensive linemen respect again. A lot of people have had respect for offensive line, but Quentin Nelson makes you really just appreciate offensive line play. He's just big, mean, physical, just brings like an identity to the Indianapolis Colts. So pieces are all in place for Phillip Rivers. I like some of their talent on Indianapolis. I've always said for years the Colts are a team that's really struggled on the defensive side of the ball. And that's pretty much factual statistically too, but they're a team that if they could just keep improving defensively, and then now I think they got a new GM. I forget exactly who his name is, but he has done a better job of bringing in talent, bringing in good veteran players, and started to draft well and actually finally get a better defense in place. So Next, I want to head to the Jacksonville Jaguars. This could be the last year of Minshew mania. I'm not a believer in Gardner Minshew. I think he's had flashes, but I'm not buying it. Leonard Fournette is a guy that I'm anxious to see if he can put together 2 good years in a row. Last year, I was so ecstatic to see Leonard Fournette have a solid, good, healthy season. Not a lot of touchdowns, but he's just a workhorse guy and a guy that just is very difficult to tackle because he's a big, physical, tough runner. Right, wide receivers remain somewhat of an issue. DJ Chark flashed on early, but then kind of dipped as the season went on. Defense is kind of a shell of what it was, but they've brought in talent in the draft. Kayvon Chason, pass rusher from LSU, also brought in C.J. Henderson, who I think the sky is the ceiling for. Josh Allen, a pass rusher that they want to see them take the next step here in year 2. And then the last team I want to get to is the Houston Texans. Houston Texans led by one of my favorite players in the National Football League. That is Deshaun Watson, the very talented quarterback from Clemson. Deshaun Watson's a guy that has done a lot with very little. Their offensive line has struggled for several years now. They just signed Laramie Tunsil to try to help improve the offensive line. They bring in Brandon Cooks, obviously. No more DeAndre Hopkins. Some of their wide receivers they'll have this year, Kenny Stills, Will Fuller, Randall Cobb. So there's a lot of talent at the skill position for the Texans. Also bring in David Johnson that they added through the DeAndre Hopkins trade. We'll see if David Johnson can stay healthy this year, and if he is, that'll be a huge bonus to the Texans for a team that really does like to run the football. Bill O'Brien was a guy I'm a believer in right now, but some of his decision-making is very questionable, like in the playoff game, that decision to go for it. Or what was it? They tried to fake that punt in the game, and it really shifted the momentum to Kansas City in that game. I was not a fan of some of that. Their defense is a defense that's been pretty solid. Obviously, that's been injury-ridden. J.J. Watts had trouble staying healthy. Clowney had trouble staying healthy, and that's why they moved on from him over a year ago. But they've added some speed in the secondary. Vernon Hargrave's a guy who I've been a fan of, but he struggled at times. And they've also have Bradley Roby. Roby, a guy that's done a lot better. He played at Denver for a few seasons and was really their number 3 corner behind Aqib Talib and Chris Harris. But he has really shined. And then Justin Reed, one of the more underrated safeties in the National Football League. So that's kind of a little breakdown of the AFC South. Make sure you guys comment below who you guys will think will win the division and tell me a little bit why. Make sure to follow me on Twitter at Big Time Football Talk. We're just going to keep cranking out these clips. I hope you guys enjoy these clips. Make sure to stay tuned for more of these from Big Time Football Talk. So comment below. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoy this video. Until next time, peace.